So, you're thinking about moving to Palm Coast, Florida, but you're not sure what kind of family activities there are in the area? That's exactly what we're going to cover in today's video. We're going to talk about the different parks, the different community events, and all of the great things there are to do with families here in Palm Coast, Florida. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then stick around because we're going to get after it right now. Hi, my name is Stephanie Schulis with Keller Williams Realty. Thanks so much for joining us today. If this is your first time to the channel, please make sure to tap the button below to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and you'll be the first to be notified every time we put out new content all about moving to Palm Coast, Florida and the surrounding areas. We get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you looking to make the move to Palm Coast, Florida every single day, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking of moving in the next 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we'll do everything we can to help you make a smooth move to Palm Coast, Florida. Today's video is all about family activities here in Palm Coast. My family and I love living here, and there's so much to do. Aside from our beaches and all of our water activities, there's still a lot to do outside. Within the city of Palm Coast, there are 13 community parks. That's just within the city. That doesn't count any of the unincorporated parks, like the one I'm at right now here in Malacompra on the hammock of Palm Coast. It doesn't count any of the ones in Flagler Beach or any of the ones in Bunnell. That's just the ones in Palm Coast. It also doesn't count any of the state parks. There are miles and miles and miles of trails for hiking, biking, and that connect many of the parks as well, so you can even go on a little park scavenger hunt with your family. There's obviously the fishing, the boating, the beaches, and things like that. There's also Marineland just north of us. There's the Florida Agricultural Museum. There's a ton of different eco tours and kayak rentals and things like that, and bicycle rentals, so that if you wanted to get outdoors, you could. If getting outside isn't a thing for you, there's the bowling alley, there's the movie theater. The library and the city and the community center put on tons and tons of events and programs. I was looking recently, I have young kids, and so for my toddlers and infant, there are over 20 programs just for toddlers that the city puts on. 90% of them are free of charge. There's events for young kids. There's even events for tweens and teens, including STEM programs. There's all kinds of city events, from food truck events. My boys loved the Touch a Truck event. I think I've mentioned that a few times. They had all of the different emergency vehicles, my son calls them beep beeps, all the different construction vehicles. There were helicopters, and the kids got to go around, touch them, climb in them, get their photos taken, things like that. So the city does all kinds of events like that. We're also obviously very close to St. Augustine, where in addition to the natural things they have there, they have things like the Pirate Museum, Ripley's Believe It or Not. Down south in Daytona, there's the boardwalk and the arcade. There's endless things to do here in Palm Coast, Florida for families. There are a few things that I do wish Palm Coast had for families. I would love to see an indoor playground here. On days when it's too hot, or there's just that day of rain that just won't let up, I think having an indoor playground would be amazing. Currently what we do on those days is my family goes up to Ready, Set, Play in St. Augustine, and I know there's a similar place down south of us as well. So there are options within a short drive, but it'd be amazing to see one come to Palm Coast. Growing up, one of the big things to do for my siblings and I was always to go to the mall. That was the safe hangout spot where we can be dropped off, couldn't get in too much trouble, would stay safe indoors. There's not really anything like that here, and malls in general are kind of dying out across America. So I know that that's something that people look for because it's what we all got to experience, and that really isn't here. There are outlet centers, both south in the Daytona area as well as up in St. Augustine, but there's no real central mall, especially not an indoor mall that's within a fairly close drive. Town center in Palm Coast was initially meant to be kind of something like that, outdoors, but meant to have the movie theater, restaurants, shops, and kind of be that central spot. And it hasn't quite developed to that yet. I'm hoping that it does pretty soon, at least by the time my kids are ready to be dropped off and left alone. Luckily, we're not quite there yet. If you live in the area, I'd love to hear some of your favorite things to do as a family. I've talked a lot about my family being really into the outdoors here. We do a lot out on the water, a lot at the beach, a lot on our bikes, and we spend a lot of time at parks like the one behind me. But if you can let me know your favorites, I'd love to hear them. And if you have any questions about things to do as a family here in Palm Coast, please leave a comment below, or you can always give me a call, send a text, send an email. We always love hearing from you guys. That's it for today. We'll see you on the next video.